Okay. So, as I'm sure you've heard by now, the Backrooms movie is out. And it seems like people are really enjoying it. And I'm really happy that that's the case. I'm so happy that this movie can get made for, what was it, $750,000 and become the most profitable A24 movie ever. Broken previously, just like 6 months before, by Marty Supreme, I think. This movie is colossal right now. I'm seeing it absolutely everywhere. It's like every other video I see on Instagram is something related to Backrooms. You know, obviously based on what was already a pretty sensational internet trend. But I think it kind of sucks. Now, let me be very clear. I wouldn't say this is a bad movie. I think it's just not for me. The biggest thing with this movie is the actual horror aspect of it. Because either you find the liminal space thing scary, or you don't. Hi, Scrambles. Hello. And I don't. I don't think that, ooh, isn't it weird that this thing is in a place that it wouldn't normally be in? I don't find that terribly scary. Like, oh, isn't it weird that there's a Christmas tree in the middle of this room? Okay. It doesn't frighten me like that. I think it's interesting. I think it's really interesting. But the movie is so insistent that it's terrifying, and it just really doesn't work for me. And I've seen the movie twice, because I was told that it gets better on rewatch. The friend that I had seen it with initially said that he went to see it a second time, and he said that he ended up liking it a lot more on the second watch. So I was really excited going into that second watch. I wanted so bad. I want to like this movie. I want to like this movie. But it just falls short for me. You know? Like, the character stuff, I think, is kind of egregious, honestly. Clark he's well written up until the point where things happen. I'm gonna get into spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, if you're somehow watching this video and you haven't seen the movie yet, fuck off. But Clark goes insane in the Backrooms, what feels like immediately. There's no denotation in the film that says that any time passes, because the therapist, Renata Reinsva, gets the message, and then the next time we see her, she's at the furniture store, which, you know, would imply that almost no time has passed at all. Unless you want to, like, theorize that, oh, time passes differently in the Backrooms. But then you're theorizing, right? And obviously this movie feeds on theorizing, but that's not in the content of the film. And that needs to be in the content of the film in order for it to make sense narratively. And he goes from being completely normal into just a psycho. He's just so, like, batshit insane immediately. And that leads to my other bit that I really don't care for, which is the dinner scene where Renata Reinsva, as Clark's therapist, throws her hands in the air and says, "I can't fix you." What? She's a therapist. Why the fuck would she ever say what she says in that scene? I get it, right? She's seen him do horrible things at this point in the film, but it's so, it just comes off as mean-spirited and unforgiving for some reason. I don't care for it. I really don't care for it. And I hear so many mixed things. I hear, like, oh, I cared for the horror elements, but once it's allegorical, it falls apart. Or I really like the allegory, but I don't really care for the horror. I tend to fall into the latter camp. I think that the allegorical stuff is kind of cool, but I don't think that either of the characters are nearly fleshed out enough for it to work. The movie, like, kind of tries to be Silent Hill in a weird way, where it implies that everybody sees the Backrooms differently, But then you get to the scene where Renata Reinsve just sees the Clark monster as Clark, and that totally collapses, and it doesn't make any goddamn sense anymore. Because why would she see it as Clark if it's supposed to be like a personal hell thing like Silent Hill is? Like I said, I want to like this movie. I'm happy that this movie exists. I'm so glad that Kane Parsons has his career set based on this. I'm excited to see what he does next. And the second watch was so dreadful because there are probably only 3 scenes in this movie where anything happens. And when you are just waiting 2 hours, this movie is 2 hours long. This shit probably could have been 90 minutes. And when you're waiting for those 3 scenes where something happens to happen, the rest of it is such a slog. There's so much of this movie where it's just characters looking around in places, and who fucking cares? Oh. I am glad that people like this movie. I'm glad that this will probably be really iconic going forward. This is going to be a huge landmark film going forward in the horror franchise. And most importantly, I'm glad that it's already outdating Scary Movie 6.